Hi everyone, I'm Priya, ESG and Ethics Specialist at Biocair, and welcome to Sustainability Unpacked, the podcast where we make sustainability easy to understand and relevant for everyone. This season, we are opening our doors to all our stakeholders, partners, and listeners across the industry. We will share how Biocair is taking action, why these efforts matter, and how sustainability connects to the work we all do. From reducing emissions to strengthening ethical supply chains, we will explore the key topics shaping our collective future. And today, we have Henry James, our Head of Global Procurement and Supplier Management. Henry, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, Priya. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. Long-term fan, long-time listener.
Amazing. So, Henry, I understand there is so much happening with procurement and how busy you are. But it is important as a customer-focused business to help everyone understand how particular we are about our suppliers.
Yeah, agreed.
Whether it is supplier engagement or their risk assessment, we aren't leaving any rock unturned.
Agreed, yeah. No, customer focus is always at the forefront of what we do, but as we'll touch on shortly, procurement plays a huge part in that, and how we manage our suppliers is key to that as well. So, yeah.
Lovely. So Henry, in the last episode of our podcast, we had Stephen Colley, our Chief Compliance Officer, with us, and he mentioned procurement being a key driver of sustainability. From where you sit, how has procurement become such an important enabler of sustainability?
Yeah, perfect. So, listening to the last podcast, I agree with Stephen's view. Traditionally, procurement was often seen as a function focused on cost, contracts, but today it is a much more broader role. And this change is being seen across multiple sectors and regions. And procurement is being seen as more of an important, not necessarily supportive function, but also a central function within a lot of organizations.
Yeah.
And sustainability-wise, it has a huge part to play in that as well. So every product we buy, every supplier we select, and every service partner we engage has an environmental, social, and ethical impact.
Right.
So as procurement, we sit in the center of the supply chain. That means we have a unique opportunity to influence decisions before they happen.
Yeah.
We can build sustainability in supplier selection, sourcing strategies, contracts, and supplier performance management. A couple of the bits there that Stephen had talked about or touched on.
Yeah.
At Biocair, though, we've enabled and embedded ESG considerations into our procurement standards, supplier evaluations, due diligence activities, and continuous improvement programs. And we are and will be working closely with suppliers through various initiatives, our RPC, which is our Responsible Purchasing Charter, and sustainability-focused supplier development activities. So really, the goal is not simply to buy responsibly ourselves, but it's to help create a more responsible and resilient supply chain overall.
Amazing. I love that perspective, especially the idea that procurement isn't just about buying things anymore. It's about shaping the standards we expect from everyone we work with. And honestly, that's where so much of our impact, sits. So now one of the biggest projects, you are leading is our sustainable packaging initiative. And I know this is something customers ask about all the time. So how's that project going? What have you learned so far? And what kind of impact do you hope it will have?
Yeah, we are getting more and more questions from our customers, reaching out to us, asking what our offering is and what our pricing is. People are prepared to pay more for it.
Yeah.
But from this sort of initiative or this project, it's been exciting.
Yeah.
It's been to date, very challenging, and largely because it touches every part of the business. It's so important that we do it right.
Yeah.
So far, we brought colleagues in from operations, quality, sustainability, commercial and procurement to try and build this global strategy. One of the biggest lessons I have learned is that sustainability is rarely a simple replace one product with another exercise. For example, reusable packaging has enormous potential, but it only creates value when you have the right return logistics, refurbishment processes, and asset tracking in place. Yeah. Stuff that we are developing here at Biocair. But at the minute, we're currently focused on standardization. So creating a global catalog that we can use across all the regions.
All right.
Then we can look at supplier engagement, pilot programs, and identifying shipping lanes where reusable solutions will deliver the greatest benefit. Long term, we're aiming to reduce dependency on single-use packaging, increase circularity, reduce waste and carbon emissions, and create a packaging ecosystem that delivers both sustainability and commercial value, which is naturally very important.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant. And I think what people don't always see is how complex packaging is in the life science logistics sector. It's not just about being green. It's about protecting samples, ensuring compliance, and keeping performance high all together. And that sometimes makes it difficult.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a mix of all of those things, and it's not just sort of saying earlier, not just switching one out. We can't just use a reusable packaging because we've got to bring that item back to us. So it's not always sustainable to do that. And we can then look at more reusable packaging items that we can use. But again, it has to adhere to our high standards that we set and our customers set. And ultimately, they've got to do what they've got to do, and they've got to last and keep the product cool at the right temperature for the duration it needs. And that is across all the different regions as well.
Right.
And so, it's challenging to say the least.
Yeah. And to continue with this, there is something we talk a lot about, internally, is that sustainability isn't something we can do alone. It depends on collaboration. How you mentioned, you are working with teams from operations, sustainability, everyone coming together, especially across the supply chain, if you have to take an external point of view. So how are you working with suppliers, to drive positive environmental and social outcomes? Yeah,
so looking externally, partnerships is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
And when we look at our supplier base, we want to work with suppliers that see us as partners as well, something we can grow together within that relationship. We try as little transactional relationship management as we can do, and try and build these long-term strategic partnerships. No company can deliver meaningful sustainability outcomes on its own. There's just so much of an impact sits within that wider supply chain. So it's important that we all sort of row in the same direction and work together. We are here taking a collaborative approach with these suppliers. Firstly, we're setting clear expectation through our RPC that I mentioned earlier, and our procurement standards. Secondly, we're incorporating sustainability into supplier evaluations, performance reviews, and continuous improvement activities. I touched on those earlier as well. But more recently, we're trying to capture this collaboration through our new supplier badge program. And this is where our partners will be bronze, silver, gold, or platinum, dependent on the various services or criteria that they meet. Sustainability being one of them, obviously. But it's important that we're not just asking suppliers for data, we're engaging them in conversations around innovation, waste reduction, packaging improvements, emissions reductions, and ethical business practices. Some of the best ideas we've seen have come directly from suppliers who are investing heavily in sustainability themselves. And so we can learn from them as much as we can teach them as well. So it's important we all work together on that. But for me, for us, success isn't about compliance alone. It's about creating long-term partnerships with suppliers who see sustainability as a shared opportunity rather than just a customer requirement.
It's always give and take. You get something, take something. And I really like that, the idea of moving from supplier compliance to supplier partnership. It's such a shift in the mindset, and it's exactly what we are trying to build with our, the ESG questionnaires and supplier engagement work. So looking ahead, what do you see as the biggest opportunity for procurement to help shape a more sustainable future for Biocair and for our customers?
Yeah, sure. So I think it largely, to pass the buck a little bit, it largely depends on the appetite of the business. But within procurement, the biggest opportunity is moving sustainability from being an initiative to becoming part of every purchasing decision we make. So historically, organizations often evaluated suppliers primarily on cost, quality, and time or service, that sort of triangle. But increasingly, we need to think more about the resilience, ethics, carbon impact, circularity, and the long-term value as well. So at Biocair, that means continuing to develop sustainable supply chain partnerships, increasing transparency, leveraging data to become more effective, and accelerating innovation in areas such as packaging, our logistics agents, and our supply performance. But ultimately, procurement can act as a bridge or an enabler between commercial success and sustainability. And that's what we want to do more of. The more we integrate those two objectives, the more value we can create for our customers, our suppliers, and the wider communities we operate in. Again, depends on the appetite of the business. And I think here at Biocair, that's something we certainly want to lean into a lot more.
Oh, that's brilliant, and something I'm looking forward to. And I think it's exciting to see procurement become such a strategic part of our sustainability story, not just internally, but across the whole logistics ecosystem. Henry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say likewise. It's exciting as we are developing a lot more, and the data that you are doing and the reports that you are doing will help support what we do from a procurement perspective, and hopefully together we can drive things forward.
Amazing. That's exciting. Henry, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a great opportunity hearing your perspective, and I think our listeners will really appreciate understanding how procurement is driving change behind the scenes. And to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in. This podcast is aimed at all our stakeholders, whether they are customers, our partners, colleagues, and we hope it gives you a closer look at how Biocair is building a more sustainable future. We will be back soon with more conversations and more updates on what's happening at Biocair. Until then, take care, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.